secret. Not that.
And where are we? PPRN Radio. Always on, sometimes off. PPRNradio.net. And where are we? PPRN Radio. Always on, sometimes off. PPRNradio.net. PPRNradio.net. The station that's home with your wife. While you're at work, we keep her company. We keep her happy.
Yeah, we do keep her happy, but we don't keep her happy for very long. Only for like an hour,
1 second.
21, an hour and 1 second, 1:29 minutes. Dave is here this week, and Phil is here as always, and Lisa, who's starting to become a staple in the show, is here also. How was the show this weekend? Did you have a show this weekend?
I had 2 shows this weekend. So the show on Saturday was kind of, It was at 88 Keys in Watertown, which is a nice venue, but when it's a really nice day outside, people would rather be outside than inside, but we still had a good time. And then the show on Sunday was in the Hamptons, and that was wonderful.
She's like Kamala, right? Her demeanor changes when she's in different.
Sorry, what?
I was in Long Island, and
That's right. It's the Hamptons, darling.
when you went to Watertown, you were had like a different dialogue. Now it's
Yeah.
you were in Long Island. It was just throwing her here.
You're in Watertown.
Phil's trying not, I don't know what Phil's doing. He's trying not to laugh. I'm gonna put a link in the notes here. You can call us. Today we have David Sheehan.
David.
Dave.
You're in trouble. I don't know what you did, but you just look like you did something wrong.
That's what most people tell me.
I think Lisa's making Dave blush. Don't you think? Well, have you ever seen Dave blush?
It's rosacea.
Oh, you drinking wine?
No, it's actually water, but there's marks and things. It's just age, fun stuff.
I would have just when it was Lisa.
I didn't mean to trigger you.
She might be you didn't. She might be a factor in it, but I do have weird skin on my head now.
You may be allergic. I mean, it could be the hair or whatever.
You're mean, Peter.
What? He's allergic to cats.
I'm kind of allergic to cats.
But not if they're minxes with 2 X.
There you go. Hi.
Okay, Bob. Okay, all right, Bob. That's cool. I'll put you down. All right, Bob Clark. Listen, if you need to catch up on some sports, Tuesdays at 6:00 on the Podbean Network. Look for the Stripe Show, or you can go to Bob Clark and look it up. Under his page. But he is also a professional golf player in Florida. So go play around. You see that sun? It's like right on my face. You go play around down at his golf course too. So go check him out. All right, tonight we are not going to discuss anything in particular. We're just going to have a normal show. So I don't want to do politics. I don't want to do anything else. But what happened the other day? Are we going back? Are we going tit for tat, Phil?
Oh, whose tits are you talking about?
Tit for tat would be if you're going to arrest Donald Trump, you're going to go after the other.
Oh no! Time out. Cootie shot. No, none of that. None of that. I don't want to hear about Hunter or Trump or any of that crap. I mean, people aren't watching us to hear that. They could go turn on Fox or CNN or any of those stations. But no, we're here to talk about Lisa's booms and and I see that I can see a little bit down there. That is quite nice.
Are you really looking down a screen?
Yeah. Can you get the camera a little lower so we can
move your lid a little bit? That's what he's trying to tell you. Move your lid.
Let's move the camera. Hold on a second. Let's make it a little easier. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
So, Pete, actually, you want to hear
I have
something?
a washcloth on my crotch in case Lisa really goes overboard, so it's okay.
The last time I was on the show, you were talking about doing certain things for yourself while I was singing. Now that you're doing certain things for yourself while I'm just sitting here.
Oh
So
yeah.
I take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. I got to call Roto-Rooter because I got a leaky faucet. So that's you're not making it better.
Phil, you remember when I had that long bout with the leaks?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Oh man, the studio used to stink.
Used to stink. Yeah.
It's just stink.
Yeah.
You know what I found works? A bidet.
Really?
Yeah, because of my size, the way I was as big as I was back then.
Yeah.
Apparently, I wasn't wiping properly. So ever since I got the bidet,
Uh-huh.
not that I didn't want to not wipe properly. When you're a bigger person, it's hard to get your arm around. So for the longest time, I was going back to front.
This is a radio show, but there's some things we don't need to know.
Well, a bidet is amazing. If people are listening,
my sister worked with a girl, sweet girl, but she was very heavy set. And she told my sister that, you know, she can't get down there to wipe properly or clean properly. And
that's what we call a PSA.
Yeah.
What's a PSA?
Yeah.
Public service announcement.
Yes.
Well, Peter, you're in a house, so you could, if you wanted to install your own bidet, you could.
I did.
You did.
Sure.
I'm in an apartment, and so I don't have that luxury. I just have to stand in the shower on my hands, and so that's
au contraire. If you go to Amazon.com for $40, you can get one of them portable ones, and they work amazingly.
Really? Do I have to attach
yes,
it
all you got to do.
What do I do?
Attach so the hose that comes from the wall.
Yeah.
You put it to the back of the bidet. Then you take the old hose and put it to the back of your toilet, and then you screw it with the 2 screws. And there's a button, and there's one for the coochie and one for the hoochie.
So I've got a question. You guys don't seem morbidly obese that you should be able to take care of business with either just wiping normally with toilet paper or using the, what do you call it? The wet ones or whatever they call it that they sell now in the toilet paper aisle. So are you telling me that you get in the shower and you stand on your hands and let the shower run on your ass?
Well, that's why I'm on. Yeah, that's why
I got a wand. I got a wand.
You only see me from the chins down. You see me from the chins up. You don't see the rest of me, so it's a little bit too much.
Phil is actually skinny, and Dave is skinny as well. They don't have that problem.
Dave's like, what the F is going on?
Wondering why Roto-Rooter couldn't help it with the handstand problem either.
Yeah, I'm confused as well.
It happens when you talk with.
Let me tell you something. Don't ever get overweight, because I'm telling you, it's not easy. I had to learn to wipe back to front, and now I can't change it. People are like, "Why do you wipe back to front?" How do you go left or right?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought that might be another option.
Well, maybe clockwise or anti-clockwise. I don't know. It's
yin and yang.
With the wipers, you can spin and pinch, and then you're clean.
Oh.
So you spin. Wait, where's the camera? So you spin and pinch.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you catch moths? What was that?
I know. I'm trying to picture. The answer is no.
I bought a bidet. I don't shit in public no more because I can't carry my bidet with me. So I'm not ashamed to say at my age I need a bidet.
Right? Don't you wipe your ass after to get the water off, or do you just shake it and you put your Aren't you wiping anyway, or do you not? Hello? Did I lose you?
What you can do is you drip dry. I'm right here.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer is
can you hear me?
Wipe afterwards. Yeah.
We can hear you. You just froze a little bit.
Yeah.
Am I good now?
You're good now. Yeah, you're good now. The joy of life.
Yeah, okay. I drip dry.
And you think that
you just stand there wiggling till
yeah, and then,
I think we're on a delay.
If I spill ketchup on my arm right now, and I took the hose thing from the sink and I, squirted it so it came off, there's still a little bit of residue that you got to physically wipe. And you're saying that on your show, you're saying you don't do that. You just shake and drip dry and hope for the best and pull your boxers up or whatever you wear.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Wish by the way. Oh, but pretty much, yeah. That's what I do. I drip dry because the paper is just listen. After you spray it with water and you hit it with paper, you're just gonna end up getting, and then it's even worse. Balls of paper. It's not. You want to talk about being hygienic? You're gonna get balls of paper. That's. I mean, no.
No.
No, not sustainable
Have
either.
you ever used toilet paper?
Yes.
Right.
It's like,
Have you ever used toilet paper to clean something wet? It rolls up in the balls, don't it?
yes, but we're talking about our private parts, not. And for most people, don't use toilet paper to clean up a fucking spill. It's not Bounty towels. It's Charmin.
You do if you're poor. You do if you're poor.
If you're poor, then you use a regular piece of paper. You don't use that precious toilet paper. Your mom's like, go get that newspaper to clean up that spill.
I haven't lived with my mom in years, so I don't know. I don't go through a lot of toilet paper, so
Yes, we kind of
that's for a
gathered that.
reason.
As a kid, he just used to
That's
scoot
for a
along the
reason.
ground.
Yeah.
It's just like a dog.
Listen, you guys can't judge until you actually get your own bidet. Then you'll know.
That's a
Okay.
thought. All right. Portable.
Have you
bidet.
ever used one?
I've never. No. And my birthday's coming up too. That would be.
Oh,
nice
that's right.
present.
Your birthday is coming.
Yeah.
So this is what I tell guys when they're like, "Oh, I could never be gay." I'm like, "How do you know? You've never been gay. You've never tried it. So how can you knock it?"
I agree with that.
Right? I'm not a prude about it. I'm not gay, but I'm not going to say I will never be gay because I've never been gay. I've never had a gay encounter. So how can I say I don't like it? So when dudes are like, "Oh, you're gay," I'm like, "How do you know you're not?"
That's not where I was going with that conversation, but yeah, I mean, just like I don't want to do
You're
heroin.
obviously new to the
heroin
show.
addict-
You're obviously
mean,
new to the show. As Dave, we go in different directions all the time.
which is fine. I just don't see how a bidet leads to being gay, but I guess it is, maybe you like the bidet a little bit more than most people.
Well,
I'm sorry.
a
I love
bidet
you.
doesn't lead to being gay,
Of course not.
but
But
if you
no
have
pun
hemorrhoids,
intended.
but if you have hemorrhoids, you might think differently because that water hits that one spot
Oh, that's painful.
just right. No,
If you have a hemorrhoid, that wouldn't be painful with the water hitting it?
I don't have grapes. They're little. I mean, they're not like disgusting where I got to push them back in.
No, I
You
just
still have hemorrhoids, Peter?
look at Dave's face.
I don't even know. You know what? I haven't had the leakage in a couple of years, so
Yeah.
I think the hemorrhoids went away.
Yeah, because I remember you used to talk about them. So then you stopped talking about them. So I assume they disappeared. But
yeah, they're plus it was getting old topic, and like Lisa, people like Lisa don't like hearing that stuff. So
no, I can understand.
I'm not dying to hear about your hemorrhoids. If you have them and it's a problem, we're friends. We could talk about it. It just seems like a bidet would hurt your hemorrhoid, is what I'm saying. Don't you need pads or preparation H instead of a bidet?
That's a myth. That stuff don't work.
Ah, okay.
Preparation H doesn't work.
Would this work? I mean, it just.
If you turn it the other way, it might.
In ancient times, it might have worked, Phil, because you could tighten it to the hemorrhoid and pull it out.
Ooh.
Works on teeth, yeah.
Dave, oh my God, Dave just smiled.
Just clean it in between when you're using it for one and the other, Phil.
Dave, do you know how old that wrench is?
I couldn't hear you.
Do you know how old that wrench is?
How would I?
It's at least 10 years old.
The property of PPRN.
Yeah,
Yes.
Phil stole it from PPRN.
Hang on a minute. My son is coming in the door. Hold,
Who?
please.
Oh, more hemorrhoid talk then.
Yeah, hang on.
She hung up?
No, she'll be back. She said her son's coming in. So I guess she didn't want her son to hear hemorrhoids and bidets and the improper use of wrenches.
Those are the least offensive things we've talked about so far.
You know, I like these little calm shows.
That's fine. He just usually comes in the door, bursts in, and starts talking, mom. But he didn't.
How old is he?
He's 18. He just finished his first year in at UMass Boston.
Good. Very congrats.
What's he going for?
Business, majoring in business.
Good for him.
He wants to be an entrepreneur.
That's the way to go.
Absolutely. He's motioning me. I'm very busy right now. I'm busy with nonsense.
Bring him on. Let's see if he wants to talk.
You want? I think he's in pain. He has to have his wisdom teeth out on Friday, and he looks like. Chris, you okay?
Yeah, it just hurts to talk.
Oh, he said it just hurts to talk.
Oh,
Get him a bidet.
Chris, would you like a bidet? Instead of wiping your ass, you can just have water that cleans it. Is that something you would like? He said no.
You guys don't see. You guys listen. Come to Florida and use it. I'm telling you. Come down and use it. Or get yourself one. It's $40. If you don't like it, it's not a lot of money to throw away.
I think I would rather just go to the aisle where the toilet paper is and get the Cottonelle wipes and use that are wet if I wanted something wet on my ass. Well, don't say anything. You know what I meant.
Phil,
I know several people in addition to Pete that have them, and I've not yet heard anybody get one and say, I shouldn't have gotten this.
I believe it. I'm just
See, Dave, you know what? You got good friends.
What happened?
I don't even know why I got a selfie light. Fucking Florida's bright until 9 o'clock. Just look at this. Look at this.
Yeah,
Think of one of those camera lights, but it's on the highest setting right now.
Yeah, it's on sun. Yesterday we got out of the movies. We thought we were going to be nice and dark. You know, it's nice when you come out of the movies and it's dark. And it was like daylight still. For almost a good hour, and it was 8:30.
For another week and a half, the sun's going to be setting later.
Thanks, Dave, for that insightful comment.
I look like somebody who should know that.
Now that you say that, you look like you could be a weatherman.
Check out these clear skies behind me.
Now back to Dave. Dave, tell us, what is the weather going to be like tomorrow?
Are you in Florida? It'll be nice.
It doesn't matter where I am. You just look up in the sky and guess, and you can be 50% right or wrong.
That's what weathermen did.
That is.
Phil, have you ever seen Dave engage in such conversation before? This is nice.
I've never seen Dave before in my life.
Lisa brings out the best in us. Really.
Oh. I'm sorry. What did you say? I didn't hear that. No, I'm kidding.
You couldn't hear that. His eyes were going up and down.
Yeah, good that you leaned forward when you said that. I think that's what his eyes were looking.
You'll notice she still hasn't put the camera down, so
Probably haven't earned it.
No, I haven't earned it. I have to use my imagination. So.
I'm glad we don't have an HR department. This is great.
What would that be like?
I don't know. What would it be like if we ever made it?
Everybody in my office right now.
Yeah, do we even bother getting an HR office?
No.
We probably just make everybody sign disclaimers.
Yes.
But we haven't really been raunchy in years. I mean, you guys have. Well, Dave has been on in the past couple of years, but we haven't really been raunchy. We're not like we used to be when we were in Southbury, though.
No, or Wallingford for that matter too. I mean, it was we used to get carried away with stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the course that it took, where we weren't doing all that stupid kind of stern stuff, and Well,
I mean, Stern.
You could still be funny without.
Yeah. So
I don't even think we were ever doing stern stuff. I mean, just stern-ish.
No, our show was never like Stern at all. Our show was entertaining, I thought.
So, Pete, you know what's funny? Ouch. So I have these pretty little nails, and there was diamonds on them. Not real diamonds, but it keeps getting caught in my hair. Anyway, somebody told me today that apparently I was on your show years ago, and I have no memory of that at all. Do you remember that?
I think it was It Cooks.
Was it at Cooks? Because somebody said that I sang "I Will Always Love You." I was like, I don't remember that at all. And they said that after I sang it,
I think you were at Cooks with us.
Was I? I have. It must have been, back in the day. Because she said, and after she goes, and after you sang, he said, that's what Bobby Brown says to his drug dealer. I will always love you.
It sounds like something we would say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
I believe we were at Cook's because you didn't come to Torrington and you didn't come to
no, I don't know.
Winstead and you didn't come to Bristol, so it was definitely Naugatuck. Because I know you weren't in Southbury because Phil would have remembered, and
No,
I
I've
know
only
you weren't in
No.
Naugatuck because Dave would have remembered. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
We're
have no.
there all the time. Did
Pretty
Lisa,
sure it
did
was
you ever,
Naugatuck.
have a different stage name, maybe?
No. I've always had this face, and my name
No, I
is
just it's because I've been on
I'm
Pete's show
coming
a
to the
number of
stage,
times. And there's some
Minx.
like performers who might have changed their stage name over time. One guy had like a different name on every time I saw him. I was like, how are you supposed to acquire a following if people don't even know your name
Don't know
from week to week?
My name is Miguel.
Is what now?
Miguel.
Miguel. That's a joke.
I was gonna say, wait, is that your last name?
No. That's Pete's alter ego.
Yes.
No, we had Ryan Roberts on last week, Dave, and
Yep,
Miguel came out. Miguel came out. So.
I heard the clip toward the end.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I dialed in toward the end. I wasn't able to see the whole thing, but I heard Ryan and Lisa and the Remans.
You know, we had a radio guy on last week. I think we were more entertaining than he was. No?
Well, he sort of disappeared
Is
for
he
the
gonna hear
second half of the show.
No, he's not. He doesn't think that I'm not saying anything bad. I think he was a little nervous to be on our show.
You think so? I don't know.
I don't know. Did he look like he was a regular radio morning guy? I mean, he seemed like a little.
He looked
Stand
bored.
up,
Maybe
no?
we weren't entertaining him.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Because
I
then
think
he
he
was
was-
like, yeah, you know what? I'm getting in my car and I'm going to the weed spot to
Yeah.
get some.
How are we boring? I don't even understand.
We're not, no, we're not. He sort of ran out of steam because he sort of just he disappeared. He came back, then he got in his car. I just think he ran out of things to contribute.
Yeah, if I was on the radio with someone that's potentially going to make it big, I wouldn't drive to the store. You know, you could have bring that 70s thing, like I'm leaving my kids, I'm going to get a pack of cigarettes type thing. That's what I thought he was going to do.
Him. Yeah. It was.
I thought he was going to do that, like go into the store and just like have his phone and then click.
Different strokes for different folks, I guess.
No. There's nothing more entertaining on a Wednesday night to do, especially when it's not TV season. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
you
if
can't
you
keep watching reruns of Chicago PD. It's already, you already watched it.
There is no TV season anymore. Everything is now 24/7, and it doesn't matter. Shows come up all the time.
so
No,
you know,
NBC and CBS are still trying to do the.
Oh, the broadcast, the old broadcast
Yeah.
networks. Yeah.
Everything else is just random, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lisa. What?
so VH1 has apparently they had the new edition story that was like 4 episodes. Like I saw the movie years ago, but they have a new one that was actually pretty good because they showed all the music, and they have the TLC story now on. So that's kind of different, and it's a different take on it. You see a lot of the songs. I was like jamming by myself.
You know, I'm getting involved in a lot of these black entertaining shows, like anything.
Did you just say
anything
black
with,
or black?
Like 50 has a whole black, like black,
Like me, black like me?
white, opposite of white, black. Yeah, it's
Okay.
black like you.
Okay,
But
thank you.
anything like Tyler Perry or 50 Cent's got a trilogy going. Like I come in the room and Ricky's like, "Are you sure you weren't born black?" I'm like, "I'm telling you."
See, no,
All
I
these
was born
shows
black
I'm
and I
watching.
haven't watched Power. I haven't watched Ghost. I haven't watched.
You're not keeping
I
in
don't
touch
know.
with your people.
I know my boyfriend always tells me he's going to revoke my black card. And my
Do you
son
watch
just said that.
anything? Do you watch anything Tyler Perry at least?
Yeah, like Diary of a Mad Black Woman is one of my favorite movies of all time because I had this fantasy in my head. I used to tell my ex, that's going to be fucking you when you fuck up. I'm going to leave you in that pool and be like, you sit here and think about that shit and I'll be back in. Yeah.
Should we ask you guys about the ex or no? Like get to
Yes.
know Lisa? Yeah. Okay.
Definitely ask. Yeah.
Any stories you want to tell us about the ex, or anything juicy you want to tell us, or anything that might end up in the news tomorrow?
It might not end up in the news tomorrow, but he was older than me and I was young and dumb and, we outgrew each other, but he has done some stuff and karma. Let's just say that I believe in karma and karma comes full circle and he's not doing as good as he's not doing well and I predicted that and
Healthy wise, you mean?
healthy wise, he's big time. When you're an asshole, like all the time, like I was, hang on, gotta wait for my son to go.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
gonna say. Is your son listening?
Yeah. But thought he was the shit, I can get any girl or whatever, which is cool, yeah. But there's gotta be some substance. So he cheated on me when I was pregnant, like big pregnant.
Did he?
Not fun. Yep, I was home. Can't believe I'm talking about this. I was very young and back then we
Let me
didn't
get
have
the therapy light on. Hang on.
I know, right? But yeah, and he would always talk about this chick that he worked with, and I didn't think anything of it. And then if I didn't go to work, I would usually call him to let him know. And I called his job, and he had already left, and I was sitting there, and I see this car come in the parking lot, and I just knew. I was like, that is him with some other bitch. And he got out of the car, and I saw this long flowing hair out of the car. And my heart was racing. And if I had waited, I would have known 100%, but I couldn't wait. So I screamed out the window. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He looked at me, went back to what he was doing with his car because he had a flat tire or whatever. Threw all his shit out the window. And then he told me later that he was just nervous and didn't know what to say because she was just giving him a ride home. I said, okay.
Is that what his voice really sounded like?
Yes.
I didn't know what the bitch was doing, so I just stopped holding over.
I know what to do. I looked at you. I looked at her. I said, oh, no.
Oh, he's an Italian?
No. You know who
I
he
know
is.
somebody who, I'm not going to
Fits
say
that
names.
description?
Well, I'm not going to say names, but I know somebody who did something. Everybody knows her. I just don't want to say. I don't know if she wants them to know. But
Say what it rhymes with.
I can't.
Sure you can.
I'll say it after when somebody looks at me. I'll say that.
I'm
So
looking at
her ex cheated on her, and she invited the one she was cheating with to the house for dinner.
what?
So the woman that was getting cheated on, she found out, and she invited that woman to dinner. And when he came home from work, they were both sitting.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good. And what did he do? I forgot. I gotta get milk. I'll be back.
No, he was just like, I wish she would come and tell the story, but she won't.
Wow.
She said, it's Ricky. Her
Yeah,
husband did. Her ex-husband did that to her.
I'm kidding.
So she, I'm like, wow, that's kind of. Is that cruel or is that cool?
It's cool.
Dave, what do you think?
We can't hear you, or at least I can't.
All right. I agree with Lisa. I think instinct for a lot of
Hey, we
people in
can't
that
hear you.
situation. Nobody can hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. I agree with Lisa. I think
We can hear you.
this was more interesting the first two times I said it. Sorry. I think your instinct in that situation is to lash out and do something that might be illegal or hurt somebody, even though, maybe that's your intent. I don't know. But just to take the high road and be like, all right, let's connect with that person because the bad guy here is not you. It's the person we both know. And then you really throw him for a loop. He's definitely not going to be expecting to come home to that.
So, have you guys ever watched the show Cheaters?
No.
What? You've never watched the show Cheaters?
Yeah.
Watch much reality TV.
Well, I don't either, but here's the premise.
I
So
know.
I used to get up in the morning and watch the news and all this stuff, but I'm trying to be a little bit more zen because I'm a hot-blooded Trinidadian, and I decided I'd like to start my day without murder and all this craziness. So Cheaters used to come on all the time. So the premise of Cheaters is they have some, I hate to say this, but they have the host who's talking to the cheatee. No, yeah, the cheatee, the one's getting cheated on, who's usually kind of ghetto. Yeah, he stopped, he used to come home and do this and call me all the time, and now he's not doing it. So I just have some suspicions, whatever. So sometimes they not only follow that person, but they'll install cameras in their mutual residence. So what I think is hilarious is everybody knows that song by what's his name? Shaggy, It Wasn't Me. These guys get caught, so they'll be somewhere with the person that they're cheating with, coming with the camera. Who is that? Smack him in the face. And one guy was like serious, telling the girl he's like, I never seen her before in my life. I don't know what's going on. Hang on a minute. What are you doing? Love you. Feel better. Aw, that's my baby boy. But they legit first, they either don't know who the girl is, like some psycho is going to come out of the woodwork with cameras for a stranger that they don't know, or they'll say they just deny it, or then they'll be like, it's your fault because you didn't do XYZ, and if you were giving it up, I wouldn't do anything. It's just fascinating to me to watch the human psyche play out. Like, it's like, really, like, you cheated. And some people are in happy relationships and shit happens, but when you get caught, and they're just like, no, what the? She's like, I'm showing you the video. He's like, that wasn't me. That's not me on that video. Or I don't know who this girl is, baby. I don't know who that is.
Defensive.
That's
It
why I
reminds me
like
of,
watching that
when
show.
when Pete and I have watched
That is-
Live PD, and the cops are arresting guys and finding like drug paraphernalia and stuff in their car. Same thing. This isn't mine. I don't know. Because what they're saying makes no sense. But it's like that's
No, their first instinct is these are not my pants, but you're
What?
wearing them. You're wearing them. What do you mean these aren't your pants?
I've never
No,
heard
they're
that.
not. I put them on before I left the house. It doesn't matter. You're still wearing them.
So some stranger came in your house and put on
Oh.
left drugs in your pants, and then you accidentally put them on.
when has anyone ever said these are not my pants and meant it?
I've never heard that phrase in my life.
Isn't that a Seinfeld episode? What the hell's that? David, is that your neighborhood? Because it's West Haven.
If you heard the motor, yes, about once every 15 minutes by law, a vehicle that's like 150 decibels has to go down my street. I didn't
And where
realize
do
you'd
you
hear
live,
that.
Dave? You live in Florida?
No, I'm in Connecticut as well, West Haven.
West Haven.
Oh,
Yes.
we're neighbors, sort of.
Oh,
Well, I live in Southbury, so we're Connecticut neighbors.
where are you in
not-
Brantford?
Okay. I used to work in Southbury.
Oh, really? Where?
Why did I think you were
I
in
mean-
Brantford area, Lisa?
No, you don't listen.
Oh, I listen. I don't know. I'm trying to fight this fucking latency problem. Hang on.
Stand up straight.
Probably gonna stop for a second.
And he did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's just us three.
Oh yes. So Dave, what's new, different, and exciting with you? You haven't said as much as Lee.
Not a heck of a lot. Just having a not too busy month, which my schedule tends to run pretty full, so it's not bad having a little bit of downtime. Still performing when I can. I have a few things coming up. We'll probably talk about that more at the end. How about yourself? I remember you saying that you had a book that was either about to be published or just was.
We have a book. I have a book that's in the works. I'm gonna get back to it after we get off the show. I had a book that was published about 2 years ago. And I have the Nutmeg Chatter talk show on WAPJ Radio out of Torrington. I actually just did an interview before I came on the air here, so I'm doing interviews for July. So
That's awesome.
I work a month in advance, sometimes 2 months in advance on my show. I never do live shows like Pete does because it's what happens when we have live shows. Things freeze. We have crazy noises in the background. You're back, Pete.
I don't know what it is. I mean, my connection is pretty good. I don't know what the hell's going on. Could be their server, but it seems to be working now. And I saw Lisa coughing in real time, so that's good.
Oh, that's good.
In real time.
Dave, you said you're a performer. What do you do?
I'm a comedian.
Oh, you're a comedian.
Yep. Can't you tell?
Can that not be the driest response? What do you do? I'm a comedian.
I'm not being one now.
I'm
It's not like
sorry.
I'm a magician. I have to pull a rabbit out of something.
That's the best. What are you doing to make people laugh?
Sometimes, if they feel like it.
That's awesome. It's got to be hard to do stand up. Like,
It can be. I've been doing it a long time. I still face some challenges, as you know, you're gonna always. But getting into it and getting going is really nerve wracking and just weird. Getting comfortable doing it, but yeah.
so can I ask you a question? And this is, please don't take this the wrong way, but the way your demeanor is not. I would never think that you would even make anybody laugh. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. It's just that it seems like. So you're probably a different persona when you're on stage then, right?
Maybe a little bit, but what you said is actually accurate. And I've always kind of had this like deadpan persona, and it's effective in comedy because exactly what you just said, nobody really expects that from me or just to say the things I say. So it really catches you like it's like a left turn. And that's, for me, that's effective as far as making people laugh, just saying stuff they're not expecting.
Cool. Cool. Very cool. Give us a line from your comedy bit.
You can't do that. Who says you can't ask that? That's
Sure, this is American, damn it. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I'll sometimes say, so how's everyone doing tonight? That's the line. No.
I'm doing horrible. My cat just died. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a cat.
yeah, but you can change that up and say my pussy's dead.
And who in the world would say that?
That's a conversation starter.
A comedian that doesn't make people laugh. That's who would say it.
Oh, my name is Lisa and my pussy's dead. How are you?
What do you do for that? Do a headstand in the shower?
How do you test for that? I have no idea. No, Phil does a headstand in the shower to clean his ass.
Do you pour vodka in it like when the girls
What?
do to get drunk quicker?
Was that
I
boofing?
mean, I don't know. What do you do for a dead pussy? You pour booze in it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get dead grass to grow back. You're telling me how do you make a pussy not undead? I don't know. You fertilize it? I don't know, Dave. What do you do?
I would pouring booze on anything that wasn't living, make it living again. I'm missing a step here.
Pouring booze would kill it even more. Pour booze, light it on fire, and see what happens. I'm sorry.
Is that
All right,
what-
Dave, we have to shut up. We're not the comedians. Dave is, so we need to shut up and make us fucking laugh. No, I'm kidding.
I thought I was.
I'm
It's
kidding.
Dave's night off. We're not supposed to. He's not supposed to
I
make.
know. I'm sorry. You made me sing for no damn reason. So.
It's Dave's night off. We're supposed to make him laugh. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
We're just having a conversation. Everyone's being funny.
Yeah, but what, like Dave? What kind of material do
You know
you
what
do?
it
Do
is,
you
though,
do
Lisa? You
monologues
gotta-
or what?
I heard most of Phil's questions. What kind of material do I do?
Yes.
Some self-deprecating. I don't do too much with storytelling, just largely because I don't feel like a lot of the stories and things I've lived or translate well to the stage. But I might talk about an incident and my reaction to it, and then I also do one-liners. In a longer set, I'll usually start and kind of talk a little bit about like who I am,
Who are you?
Dave, and then I'll move on to one-liners and end with that usually. Hopefully I answered the question. I think somebody talked over at one point. I don't know if I heard everything that was asked.
Pete was talking over at one point, but still, so give me an example of a one-liner. I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot. I think comedians are fascinating and I love to laugh. So
I can do, let me try to remember one I don't do anymore. This is. I can't remember that one.
And that's all the time we have. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, well, one of the ones I don't do very often is like. Oh, was that my cue to hurry up? Sorry. All right. I'll say.
I didn't do that, I swear.
500 years ago, when a brand new invention came along, did people say this is the greatest thing since fire?
That one too.
I think I'm getting heckled
my
by
mic- my
aliens.
mic
I
got
don't know
muted
what
for
those
some reason.
noises are.
My mic got muted. Sorry, go ahead.
I was done.
I
We're
think
good.
Pete missed the whole thing.
No. My mic got muted. I was getting nervous there. That's all.
Did you hear his joke?
Yeah, I heard his joke, but the thing is you can't ask a comedian to tell me a joke. That's just like you can't do. It's not like he's a singer. He might be having an off night. Something might have died today or something. I don't know.
Oh, I know
He
someone's
always
pussy
looks like
died.
something died. It's okay. We still love him.
I thought that was covered already.
Yeah, we talked about that. Hello. I'm sorry, Dave. Am I
No.
embarrassing you anyway?
No, I usually
No.
don't like. Not, but what Pete's saying, and he's right, that I wouldn't ordinarily like do my act
What's up,
like
Scott?
during like a conversation. I don't mind sharing one or two little pieces from it. But because you didn't say tell me a joke, which nobody. I wish people wouldn't do that. That's not what you did. But I think it kind of people hear you ask a legitimate question like you asked, it probably goes in mind of that. So, but I didn't think your question was unreasonable. I hope my answer was acceptable.
Because I wasn't trying to,
No, I didn't think you were. No.
You bitch. The hell were you thinking? We gave you the notes pre-date.
You didn't give me shit. You gave me the link and said show up, and here I am. So this is what you get.
I thought he was yelling at his computer for not working.
Oh no, I knew he was yelling at me, but that's okay. That's my pet
I
name.
hate technology.
He calls me you bitch when no one is looking or listening.
Oh.
Anyway.
I do say that a lot though.
Bitch.
I don't know what it is. I think it's what it is. It's because I watched that show Breaking Bad, and that's all he said was the word bitch, and he made the show so much better with it.
Yeah, there were a lot of memes about that.
So sometimes you have to swear to make everything better, right? Like, I think that people, huh?
Like when the IRS sends you letters.
If it's not overused, it definitely has an effect.
Like when the IRS sends you a letter and you have to pay, you're like, you fucking bitch.
I say that every year, and they're probably listening. So just kidding, IRS. We love you.
We do? Wait, we do?
$1. Yeah, I love the IRS.
I'm about to move to Portugal.
Why, they don't have taxes there?
Well, no, they do. But actually, they're a socialist country, so no, they take most of your paycheck, but you get everything free, right?
Is that how it works?
Medical's free, drugs are decriminalized, and what else do they give you as a subsidy? I think it's housing too.
Really?
In
So
Portugal,
can you own stuff or no?
You can own stuff, yeah, but I think a lot of the houses I don't quote me, but I know you have to do the military if you're a resident there for 2 years, mandatory.
Oh,
if you don't, you go to prison. My brother, if he ever goes back, he's going to prison because he never served the military.
You served in the military, or you were never in Portugal?
No, I've never lived in Portugal. Manny did, and he never. And when he came over here, he never got. He still hasn't gotten his green card.
Manny's like, I can't go to prison. Look at my hair.
No, I know. And he never served, so he can go to jail. He goes over there. So
wow, that's crazy.
I mean, if he goes over there, I think by the time they catch him, I think what's it, a week or two before they look up your visa or something. But he can't go back to Portugal because he can go to jail for not.
I wouldn't take that chance if I were him.
No,
that's crazy.
No, I wouldn't either. But yeah, you got to serve the military, and it's a socialist country, and I believe the taxes are high, but the medical is 100% free. And if you go over there and you're married to someone or your aunt or someone is a resident there. Because when I went there in '84, my appendix bursted, and because my grandmother was a resident, I got the hospital stay for free. So
Your appendix burst when you were in Portugal? In '84,
1984.
you had to be in middle school,
Yeah,
right?
14. No, I was freshman year.
Were you a freshman?
Freshman year, but the thing is back then their medicine wasn't advanced, so I was in the hospital for 2 weeks
Oh my God, that's
for an
horrible.
appendix burst. I know it started hurting me on the plane, stomach aches, and then it went away, and then we were on our way to see Fatima, which is a big religious thing
Of
in
course, yeah.
Portugal, and my mother thinks because we were going to see her that I didn't die. So I don't know.
Wow.
She's very religious like that, but I mean, I never made it to Fatima. So, and I think the story was about Fatima is people going up that hill to, get healed and stuff from. You know what I mean? Like I think she did a
Yeah.
lot of healing. So my mother still thinks to this day that if we weren't heading to Fatima, that my appendix would have. I mean, it did burst, but they were able to save me. So, but she doesn't know how because in Portugal you could die from a fucking fever back then.
Yeah. So I found that because my parents are immigrants too, and the old school immigrants are extremely religious. And who's to say that, that didn't save you, her praying and all that stuff.
No, we don't. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad it did save me. So I mean, then I wouldn't be able to do
glad you're
PPR.
alive, too. We're glad
Huh?
you didn't. We're glad you didn't die.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dave,
Yes.
you have a battle coming up, correct? You're hosting a battle?
Saturday. No, I'm competing.
Why does the poster say you're hosting?
Oh, that might be a different one. There's one in 2 weeks, and then there's one Saturday. You
I
might
think
have
the
seen
one in
other
2 weeks is the one that you were there when we came up to visit, and the guy we all went to breakfast together. You're
You
hosting
lost
with
me.
him, the guy with the handkerchief or the bandana.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
John's judging the one Saturday rather.
Okay.
I'm not. That's the one I'm not hosting. I'm not sure what you saw, but his picture was on the poster because he's one of the judges.
Oh, I don't know. I read so many of your posters. I don't know. You think I don't even know. I barely remember who's on the show.
Yeah, they're all a mess. It's okay.
So what
Speaking
kind of
of-
battle?
Pardon?
He said it's a battle that you're in. What kind of a battle?
It's called a roast battle. It's where two comedians take the stage at the same time and alternate jokingly making fun of each other.
Oh, where's that going to be?
New Haven.
Give her the address, David.
And the
Dangle's
date?
Bar and Grill, Orange Street, this Saturday. Dangle's Bar and Grill on Orange Street.
Huh. Okay, maybe I'll try to make it. What time?
9.
Babe, are you hearing this?
It's past my bedtime, but I'll try to stay awake. I'm a woman of a certain age, and I remember when going to the club, you didn't go to the club till 11 or 12 o'clock. Now, not so much. But so if you're doing a roasting battle, then you probably are a kick-ass comedian, and with your stone face.
I do what I can. I don't feel like I can objectively judge myself, but now you heard you're a singer, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so 9 o'clock is your bedtime. You
Well,
usually done
if I
singing
don't
by
have
then?
in my real life, in my regular life, yes. If I have a gig, obviously that's different. But in my regular life, I get up early. I go to the gym. I work and deal with people. And
What do you do for a living?
I'm a real estate agent extraordinaire.
For who?
So I work for Keller Williams, but I deal with my specialty is working with veterans and helping them navigating the home buying system because there's a lot of programs out there for vets. This is near and dear to me. So
I didn't know you were a real estate agent.
I am.
Next Wednesday, Juneteenth. Just to celebrate Juneteenth, we're going to have nobody black on the show except for Lisa.
I thought you were going to say especially Lisa.
6A will be on the show. He hasn't been on in 8 years.
No, I'm not going to say that. Now.
Jonathan 6A, and he's going to be entertained with Michael Hatfield. And I don't think Phil's ever met Mike Hatfield.
No, I didn't know Mike Hatfield.
Okay, so 6A and Hatfield, and hopefully we'll get what is that song, Phil? Wonder.
Wonderwall. There's Tennessee Howling at the Moon. He had a lot of great songs.
Yeah, he did Wonderwall almost every week, and I think he did it on purpose. So
yeah,
which is fun.
6A. I'd love to have Jonathan 6A perform with Lisa. The combination of their voices would be wonderful.
Oh, that'll be good next week. Lisa, we got
definitely.
two singers. Mike is a Jonathan. We used to call. I don't even know if we can say it anymore, but we used to call him Big Boy because he's like 7'2". But he thought we called him Big Boy because he was fat. No, we called him Big Boy because he was tall.
Oh,
Because I would never call anybody fat. You know what I mean? It's just not what I do. But he was 7 foot tall, and he used to get mad at us because we called him Big Boy, and he thought it was because we were calling him Big Boy for something else. But he lost a bunch of weight, and he's doing very well now. But he's out of the music scene, so let's see if we can spark his interest back to the guitar.
I hope so.
He had a great Wonderwall or his other song.
He was a songwriter. He wrote most of his material.
Mike, he did all originals, but he did a couple. He did a couple covers too. Go ahead. And then we have a guy named Mike Hatfield who is also all original, but he just recently crossed over and he is in a band called Banfield, or what is it? Burning the. We'll find out next week. Burning the Brand, that's it. And he does a lot of the Stone Temple Pilots and all that other shit. So a lot of good music on next week with us PPR in here. I never mentioned, go check out Phil on Sundays on WAPJ 89.5 in Torrington. The Nutmeg. I always forget. I always want to say the Nutmeg Cracker.
Nutmeg Cracker?
Nutmeg Chatter. The Nutmeg Chatter. Over on WAPJ 89.5. If you're not in the Torrington area, which normal people aren't on Sundays, just catch them on the web.
Normal people.
It's not a bad thing. It's a joke between Naugatuck Valley people and Torrington people. We didn't like to pass Pickle Park, which is in Watertown. Lisa, do you remember Pickle Park?
No, I've never even heard
of
of Pickle.
It was a rest stop in Thomaston area, and they had to shut it down because there was.
My parents probably told me to stay away from, but I've never heard of it. Now, please explain.
There's a rest stop in Thomaston that it was just past the Thomaston exit, and men used to engage with men in that on the highway, so they had to shut it down and turn it into
How did you hear about
the
this?
name Pickle Park? They had to turn it into a DOT garage. So.
But I've never heard of it, and we both grew up in the same town. I'm just wondering how you came to know of this spot and what they did.
Subscribes to different newsletters.
Huh?
He subscribes to different newsletters.
I guess.
See, he made you laugh. See, at least there you go.
He did make me laugh. And he's got a half a smile. I like it. Oh,
I'm sorry.
He turned it off.
I've been with Dave for almost 10 years. I've never seen him smile. It's something what you doing. Gotta be. He's never. That's Ricky. He's never smiled.
He smiled a couple times tonight, but now he's got the stoic. So now he's never going to smile again because now the challenge is on.
Pete famously told me the first night I ever did PPRM, when I walked into the studio looking like this, he thought I looked lost and wanted to give me a hug.
Oh, well, that's for Pete to want to give you a hug. That shows way deep down. He's a nice guy.
Yes, I think that's step one. I think that's step number one when you visit Pickle Park. Give them a hug.
Exactly.
A mouth hug, Dave. You don't give him a regular hug.
I was going to say stuff that I think maybe I should say.
The bidet is step 2. Yeah.
Use this bidet and then we can play. Boom, boom.
You can give mouth hugs at Pickle Park, not regular hugs. And nobody wants to hug after.
How do you know they don't want to hug after? Maybe they do.
I subscribe to newsletters. Tell us. Like
that one was in the Christmas. That was in the Christmas supplement.
The guy who bought the Highlight magazine turned it into a porn magazine. So
Wait, what?
That was called Twilight.
Oh, those
The
timber
Highlight
toes got really
magazine.
weird.
The magazine we used to get as kids, the Highlight
I
book.
love
Remember
the
that?
Highlight magazine.
Yes.
They missed that
And
book.
Pete's
too.
making it dirty now.
I know. Dirty highlights.
Yeah.
Solve this puzzle. Blank ICK.
You remember the things we used to do with what was that book where you filled in? It would tell you, it'd ask you
Oh,
nouns,
Mad Libs.
Mad Libs.
Ed Libs.
We
I
made
used
that book nasty, dirty.
Yeah. Mad Libs was a lot of fun. Why is it sound like somebody was sniffing coke or something? I just heard.
Dave's got allergies.
That's
Oh,
probably what you heard.
Yeah.
Wow, this mic. Sometimes I'm on Zoom, people don't hear anything, but you're hearing vehicles that are half a mile away. Must be a really good mic.
A really good
mics
computer.
pick up everything.
So Lisa, Dave lives by my old house, and if you ever get bored, he likes to run on the boardwalk.
But I haven't run in a while, but I walk. But yeah, where Pete used to live, I don't know if you ever did the show there, but that's like walking distance. And when the weather was nice, I used to walk to the studio. It's not.
He used to walk to the studio, and then me and Ricky used to ride our mopeds to the Joshua tree. And Dave would once in a while.
You might need to explain that.
Yeah.
Dave once in a while would drive by. We're like, "Holy shit! How the hell are you way out here?" But, yeah.
Where's the Joshua tree?
It's a little tree in Milford. It's in between Woodmont Beach and Silver Sands. I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Silver Sands. Gulf Beach. It's in between Gulf Beach and Woodmont, but it's a neighborhood, and we used to ride our mopeds through there. But there was a tree that looked like the Joshua tree, but Dave said they have recently dug it up.
Yeah,
So now it's
I think
gone.
it had died, so they're putting in a new one. There's like a block there. They're growing it, but it was a tree right next to a street and at the edge of a beach, so it kind of stood out because there were no other trees near it. It's a beach street, so you've got houses on one side and then the beach across the street, and then there's just this tree in the middle of it. And there was a bench. People used you could sit there. So a couple of times when Pete and Ricky were out riding, I'd be out on my bike just coincidentally, and I'd pull up to that spot. It's like there they were. So. That's just what
drinking our iced coffees and eating our donuts while Dave's exercising. We're over there fucking clogging up our arteries on a moped. I miss that shoreline though. I mean, I live in Florida. I mean, obviously it doesn't compare.
But you're not as close now.
I can hear
Well,
the
actually,
birds.
I kind of, huh?
When you said I live in Florida, and then I heard the birds chirping.
Oh, well, that's good. But what I was saying is, I miss the Connecticut shoreline. I don't know why. Because I
You
live in Florida. Because it's nice in Milford, Lisa. You have to go and walk.
I've
I think
been.
to
I like
enjoy it.
Florida better. I don't know.
No. I do love Florida better, but I'm saying if you walk the Woodmont Beach to the Gulf Beach, that whole part of the shoreline, you actually don't really think you're still in Connecticut. And Phil used to live in Fairfield, where Fairfield has a really nice beach too.
No, it doesn't. It's a very dirty beach. I mean, just because they're rich in there doesn't mean they keep it clean. Last time I was on the beach, it was all full of litter.
Was it really? Because by the
Yeah.
sea grape, I thought it was nice over there.
No, there's
No?
a bunch of rich slobs over there. No. I mean,
Yeah.
how could you say the Connecticut beaches are nicer than the Florida beaches? That's one of the things Florida has going.
No. I never said they were. No. I said I love Florida. Obviously, it's better, but
Yeah.
I miss the Connecticut shore because that little patch from Woodmont to Gulf Beach wasn't that bad because they were all $1 million houses and people
the
kept
houses
it
are-
clean. You
yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't realize you were in Connecticut and that little strip of right, Dave. Isn't that part that's pretty clean?
It varies. Some beaches are nice, some are not. Like I was surprised to hear what Phil just said about Fairfield. I don't know that I've ever been to that beach, but it is unfortunate to hear that it's like that. Milford has several. Some are nice. The West Haven one, some parts are nicer than others. I mean, it's probably only 90 miles, but it varies so widely, the different beaches.
I think the nicest beach
No,
is Ocean Beach because the sand is nice. There's not a lot of seaweed. There's not a lot of rock.
have you been there
London, I
lately,
think.
though, Lisa?
Huh?
Have you been there lately?
To Ocean Beach?
Yeah.
Probably not in the last 2 years, I don't think. Maybe 3.
Yeah, it's really gone downhill. It used to have a saltwater Ocean Beach used to have a saltwater pool and a boardwalk and a bunch of other stuff when we were kids, and it had white sand. It was really nice, but it's not nice anymore.
It
It's
still
not
has
nice
white
anymore.
sand. I mean, I've been there recently enough. I don't remember saltwater pool, but to go to the beach, the sand is nice. There's not a lot of seaweed. That's the
Did you go
only
to the boardwalk? The boardwalk is still there.
I I don't think so. When I go to the beach, I'm going to the beach. There's like a little, it's not even a boardwalk, but it's like I don't know how to, almost like a huge porch, if you will, where you can like sit and if somebody's unloading the car and stuff like that, but it's not like a boardwalk. I mean, I'm sure that it's still there, but that's not where I go. I just go to
No, to answer Phil's question, once you go to like Sunday, we went to Clearwater. There's no comparing our beaches to Connecticut beaches. I don't if it came out that way, I'm sorry, because
That's okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you step on Clearwater Beach and you don't want to ever go home.
I know that. I've been there.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. And then where we live, it's still shoreline, but it's no beaches. But we get on a jet ski, and in a matter of 10 minutes, we're out in the middle of paradise. I don't know if you guys ever saw our videos and pictures, but it's in the middle of paradise. Those little sandbars out here. But
what city do you live in? 'Cause I know you said you live near my dad, who lives in
Spring Hill.
Weeki-Wachi. Oh yeah. So same.
Well, Spring Hill is Weeki-Wachi, but you know
Yeah.
the nice thing about Weeki-Wachi, where your dad lives, it has Ormond Beach is nice too, Bob. It has a river. Dave actually went on it, and I believe it stays 75 degrees all year round, but you can see the bottom.
Oh wow.
They call it Crystal River, but that's where all the mermaids and stuff swim and all that stuff. It's called Weeki-Wachi.
So where my
Really?
dad lives, his house, like the sunroom is literally over the water, and in the morning you can see the fish jumping and stuff.
Oh, so he's on the river.
Yeah, right on the bayou there. Hopefully a crocodile won't come out and get him, because
I haven't seen any, so you don't got to worry about it. Like manatees, maybe, but
hopefully as long as he stays in the house, we're good.
we had a hammerhead shark in St. Pete on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, that was on the TV news. I heard about that.
Yeah, it chased
TV news as opposed to what other kind of news? I just never heard anybody say the TV news. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm sorry. That's all right.
What nasty? Look at her. Man.
I know.
Listen, again, this is way past my bedtime. This is the Lisa you got that's a little punchy when she's tired. So
on the Facebook, right?
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, really?
I'm still thinking about her when she had ketchup in the arm. It's just like
wow.
Yeah.
I forgot I even said that.
And you know what? Condiments on the skin is the worst smell. I get so skeeved if I open up. That's why I hate opening up the little tinfoil packets.
Mm-hmm.
No, Pete. Ketchup on you doesn't do anything for me. I mean, ketchup on Lisa.
Good. Ketchup on me doesn't do anything for me either. It's nasty.
No, it's like...
Oh my god.
David,
you're muted.
Yeah.
Can't hear you, Dave. Still can't hear you. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Keep muting it because there's background noise.
Oh.
Anyway,
don't worry about
I was just saying that Pete was talking about condiments on skin. That's probably another takeaway from his time at Pickle Park.
You asked him to tell you jokes, Lisa. Here he goes. Now he's on the roll. Thanks. At my expense.
Wait, you're on a roll. I'm just gonna call you Butter. Hey, he smiled.
He can smile.
Yeah, Dave, you're allowed to smile.
Depends on how muscle they're feeling on a given night.
It was but a fleeting moment, but we saw the smile.
Yeah, I don't think the birds in the background are really going to bother us, Dave. You can stay unmuted. I kind of like the birds.
Yeah, I'd rather not, but I do that at work, and it for some reason it doesn't take as long. Maybe it's just StreamYard thing. When I unmute it seems to take like 6 or 7 seconds to kick in.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, definitely stay out of Florida for the next couple of months because
what?
stay out of being down here. It's hot.
Oh, I'm
It's-
actually coming there on the 26th to see
To
my
see your
dad.
dad?
Yeah, I got to see my dad and my uncle. Obviously, who's my dad's brother, lives in Dunedin, and he's not doing well either. He's got stomach cancer and some issues. So
Are you going to your dad's house on the 26th?
probably not on the 26th, but sometime that week I'll text you.
Okay. I was going to
Yeah.
say, if you're on the 26th, you come in the studio if you want.
Oh, is that a Wednesday?
Yeah. It's a Wednesday.
We'll see how tired I am because I think our flight leaves at like 6:30 in the morning. So
Oh,
I'm
at
getting there.
night? In the
No,
morning?
in the morning. Yeah.
Are you doing a velo?
No, this time. So I'm going with my aunt, who lives in Queens. So I have a gig on the 25th in New York. So we're going to leave out of JFK on the 26th. But
Oh,
can I say, I love a velo. Because I never flew on it before my dad got sick, and going back and forth to Florida all this time. I freaking love it. I make my little bacon and egg sandwich in the morning that's my breakfast I bring on. I got my water, get on, it's nonstop. And when you come home, they open the front of the plane and the back of the plane, so you don't have to like wait forever. It's a nice little airline.
I
Yeah.
had one bad experience with them, and they canceled my flight for 24 hours.
Oh
But they-
wow,
other than that, it's been okay. But I mean,
I've
you
never had.
can't be canceling a flight for 24 hours. You know what it is? And they'll lie to you about it. They'll be like, oh, yeah, it's weather issues. It wasn't even raining. I think their pilots are so tired that
Oh.
because what happened was there was another friend of ours was to fly out the same day. They sat on the plane for 6 hours, and then they came on and told them, "Oh, we can't fly because the pilots timed themselves out, so we have to wait."
What?
Yeah,
And they sat on a plane for 6 hours going nowhere?
yeah, because it's New Haven. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? But I think they I don't know if they have a shortage of pilots, and Bob says there was a 2 feet of rain in the Everglades, so the alligators must be floating right now. Yeah, so they delayed our flight for 2 hours or 24 hours. I was so mad.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
can't
never
do
happened
this.
to me, knock on wood. So hopefully.
But I like it because there's only one TSA. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you ever fly Florida, fly a Velo. It's pretty cool.
Out of New Haven, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
listen to
soon-
this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So my dad, as you know, is a Vietnam vet, and he was in C Troop, and they have a reunion every year. I just found out. It's a whole long story. One of the guys he actually served with, I had C Troop had a website. I reached out to this guy that supposedly ran the website like in February. He just got back to me. Turns out he lives in Florida near my dad, and they have a reunion every year in Branson, Missouri. And this year is going to be the last year they're having in August because, these Vietnam vets are getting older. But I tried looking for flights. Every time I put in the dates, it's like, oops, sorry, there's no flights going there this time. So I don't know what is going on with Branson, Missouri, but maybe it's a place I shouldn't go.
Take
But
a
I
bus.
Huh?
Take a bus.
Yeah, no.
What's close to Missouri?
I haven't. I was always horrible in geography. I have no idea.
Kansas.
What is
Is it
Texas?
Kansas?
Kansas across the river from
Kansas.
Missouri.
Illinois.
Illinois.
Oh, a Velo flies to Chicago. There you go. Then you take a little
No,
bus.
I'm just gonna have to go to an airport that's near Branson, I guess. But I'm kind of excited for my dad. He's never gotten any accolades for his service and stuff, and he was all excited. And he happened to know this guy. They served at the same time, and just weird how the universe works. So, it's kind of cool.
I'm about to go ask John Travolta for a ride somewhere. He lives about 40 minutes from us.
You want him
He's
to
got his
drive
own
you?
little airport. I want him
I'll
to fly me.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, fly me. He's got. You ever see his house from like an aerial shot?
No.
He's got 2
Look at
planes.
celebrity
A jet
homes.
plane. He got a jet plane and he's got a little ditty plane.
So you want to ride his little ditty?
Well, it forgets me money. I don't
Are you
care.
choking on his little ditty? No, I'm sorry.
I have good gag reflexes. Not that I know.
Well, I'm sure John would love to hear that.
There's just certain things you know you would be good at, and I think probably be good at giving head.
We're back here.
Well, I love that you're man enough to say that.
Well,
I hate guys that are, I can't judge if that guy's ugly or not. Really, you can't tell the difference between Brad Pitt and Flavor Flav. Seriously. Come on.
anybody can tell that one.
Yeah, but sometimes like I don't judge guys. I don't know if they're good looking or not. Please, everybody.
I'm gonna do a little movie review. We went to go see Bad Boys last night.
Oh, how was it?
Are you guys planning on going to see it or no?
No, not at the movies
No.
anyway.
No.
It
It was okay. You can tell Martin's starting to how do I say it? Depreciate in value, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as funny as he used to be. You can tell he's getting old. The old part doesn't bother me, but Will Smith still looks like he was in Fresh Prince, but you can tell he's affected by what he did to Chris Rock. I don't know if it was as funny as the other three. I don't want to say it was, but it was still the same premise. But I think this might be the nail in the coffin. Ricky liked it, but I mean, there were some funny parts, but there wasn't like.
It wasn't a funny movie, just funny parts.
It was 2 hours long too.
Mm. Well,
I don't know if it's their best work, but I mean, it seemed like Will was distracted in real life, and then Martin just seemed like I don't know. He's not like the Martin we remember. But I know he has some mental issues too, so I don't know if that's the problem.
Well, the Martin we remember was from so long ago.
Yeah. It's another nostalgia thing. Let's just make another sequel.
Mm.
But a lot of comedians don't lose their edge. It just seems like Martin has ever since he went crazy that one day.
That one day.
No.
Were there a lot of people in the movie theater with you, Pete?
Oh, not at all.
Really?
I don't know how they made $66 million their first weekend, but there was me, Ricky, and 4 other people.
Wow.
This was a Tuesday. It was Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday evening at 6:00.
Yeah.
Well, I get it. It's Tuesday evening at 6:00, but here's the thing too. Movie theaters need to cut it out because if I sit in my house in my recliner,
Yeah.
I'm not watching a show more than 5 minutes before I'm fucking snoring. These movie theaters, they basically got fucking beds in there, man. Oh man.
Yeah.
It was hard staying awake. I was like, holy shit.
Well, there you go. Put a bidet in the movie theater. That'll keep you awake.
You for sale.
You got it in my popcorn.
Oh. Pete's like, I like it.
Could you imagine bidet-filled seat?
Oh.
Why not?
Could you imagine being the concierge there and having to wash that duty chair? Oh. Because you know people are nasty. They're not going to clean it.
You
They
think?
don't pick up their popcorn, so they're going to clean the bidet.
Yeah, or the dried Coke syrup on the floor.
Oh.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Bob says, "Send me the wrench, Phil, so I can fix it." Here's the thing, too. Everything is self-service now, which is kind of cool. So,
Even food.
So me and Ricky, we went to dinner prior to that, and we didn't have nothing gourmetish. We went to we have a place down here called Culver's. Actually, no, was it Wendy's? It was Wendy's. So we got something really quick, and all these fast food places are competing. So now the prices are really cheap. So we got dinner for like $14. Then we went to get to the movie theater, and I said, "All right, give me the number, whatever it was." There was 2 sodas and a bag of popcorn and some candy, and it was $29.
Yeah. That's why you sneak shit in.
Yeah.
And then it's self-serve. Like they gave you all the stuff. You got to get your own soda, and then they put the popcorn in the bag for you, but you had to do your own butter.
That part I like because I like tons of butter.
Oh, you
Tons.
would have loved this then. This thing is
All of them
is
are self-serve like that now.
all you do is hit the button and it was just like
Yeah.
a waterfall of butter.
Yeah.
But then we went and watched the movie and then I noticed there's a bar in there too. Like they
There's-
want you to fall asleep in this fucking place.
But then you can't buy more like snacks and drinks if you're sleeping, or especially if there's a bar there. Who's going to buy a drink if they're passed out in their chair?
And I'm not saying like a small bar. There's a full bar
In the theater itself,
next to the theater. When you walk into the entrance of the theater, to the
so
left
off
is
the
a
lobby. Okay.
Well, kind of like the lobby. It's set in the back though. Yeah.
See
I guess they
now
have to
what
separate
we
it for kids.
do is just
But you know, Winstead has that same concept too. Have you ever heard of the Gilson?
I don't know that town very well.
All right, so Winstead has a place where you watch movies, and they're not older. They're 2 weeks or 3 weeks after they hit the box office type of movies.
Okay.
So Bad Boys will be there, let's say next week. Okay,
Second run, yeah. Mhm.
they have waitresses and tables, and they bring you drinks to your table.
Mm.
Because back in the day, we used to go there and we used to do Coke on the tables, and they would bring us liquor.
Wow.
It was that because you would eat, you would drink, and do whatever. Like, but now they added like round couches and everything. It's like, oh my god! Don't go there if you're over 50 because you're not going to make it. You're going to have a beer or two, and you're going to be sitting in that chair. The next thing you know what? Here's what you should do, movie theaters. If you're going to cater to the people our age, you need to install CPAPs. I'm just letting you know right now. Just put fucking CPAPs in every single chair because people are going to need it. It is that comfortable to be in the movie theaters now.
wow.
That means the ushers have to clean the machine between
Yeah.
showings.
You want to attract people to the movies, you got to do it. What's a CPAP?
No.
Oh.
I have so many questions swirling around my mind. Okay, so the waitress. So first of all, you said back in the day you did Coke at the
Yeah.
table, and then you
Mhm.
ate. You did
No,
cocaine.
ate before.
Oh, okay. I was a little
You
confused.
always
'Cause I
eat before because you ain't eating afterwards.
well, that's why I was confused. I'm like, from everything that I've heard, most cocaine is like, trim spa back in the day. You don't eat and you lose weight.
No, that's a myth too because I ate more after I was just different. I don't know.
I never
was
had an
different.
appetite. That was a long time ago. Now I forgot the second question. So when you said they have waitresses, you're not sitting there and you have the movie up on the screen, right? It's really? That's
Yep.
kind of distracting to the movie though, isn't it?
Nope. Because it's so dark in there, you don't see them coming to you until they're in your face.
Huh.
And they kind of basically serve you from behind so they don't bother you.
That's the way you like it, don't you, Pete?
Oh, yeah. Nice little bidet water and
Tell me about
pre-rinse.
the waitresses. Are they these young, pretty girls in Florida, or are these old ladies like, you want fries with that? I mean, what do you...
No, that was in Winstead, and they were, in between meth and nursing school kind of girls up there. Dave, you know which ones I'm talking about. The strippers. The ones that are working their way through nursing school.
Okay, let's say I do.
Put it this way: if they ever had a pageant, Winstead wouldn't be a participant.
Wait, what's the theme? What's the theme of the pageant?
The theme is who's got the most teeth.
Miss
I'm not
Aquaman.
laughing though, because PPRN started in Winstead, so I can't make fun of it. So its
It's a
first
nice-
episode ever was in Winstead on Gay Street.
Really?
In your kitchen, wasn't it?
Yes, it was in my kitchen. Me and Danny and Bree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it started in the kitchen in Winstead. So there's a lot of history to PPRN. So.
So what made you want to do a radio show, Pete, back in the day and now?
These guys have heard the story 100 times, but back in the day, I've always wanted to do radio. Basically, I wanted to be a comedian, but I had too much of a drug. I was a DJ, you know that.
Yeah.
I did that for a long time, and I remember when I used to like get crowds, and I always said to myself, "Well, I can do something." Like I said, I could do something, but I always listened to radio, and I always, I studied it, and I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. So I went through my phase, and I got a divorce, and I was sitting in my apartment one day. My son just left for the weekend, and it said I went and got some stuff to get high with, and I just started Googling because I was always ambitious when I was doing drugs, and probably more so then. But I Googled how to get on the radio, meaning I wanted to know what I had to do as far as the tape, as far as an application. You can't just go like you go to HR and sign an
Right.
application to give you a job. So I
Right.
said, how to, and I was high, so think about it, how to get on the radio.
So you had no
So,
fear.
no fear. So I hit the button, and this thing called Spreaker came up, and it said, be on the radio in seconds. I'm like, okay. And it had a record button. So I hit record button thinking I'm doing a tape that's going to go to someone and they're going to hear it and they're going to be like, oh, okay, let's see what this guy's like. Little I know is it shared to Facebook, and I was high.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
doing a show by myself on Facebook. I didn't know I was live on the air. And I
You
did it for
invented
an
live
hour.
streaming.
Huh?
You invented live streaming.
I basically invented live streaming. But I was on the air, so the next day, my buddy Danny, who started the PPRN with me, is like, hey, you okay? I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I heard you. Heard me? What do you mean you heard me? You outside? Like, no, I heard your whole show last night. And I'm thinking, no. But I was high, so I didn't realize. So now I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. When you do a radio show, you have to edit it. So I'm thinking I sent this tape to someone unedited, and I'm like, I'm never going to get radio, but it was live. And my friend heard, and he's like, are you okay? Because you sound a little fucked up. Because I kept repeating myself. I kept saying, I don't know what I'm doing here. And I think I played the live episode a couple of times for these guys, but I'm just going to give it a shot. And I'm divorced, and no one wants me. And I was trying to be funny, but I was also in real life mode because I was hot.
Yeah.
So this guy, Danny's like, I heard you. And I'm like, dude, how did it sound? He's like, oh, not so bad. So I'm like, would you come over and help me do another one? Then episode 2 came on. Next thing we know, we did a radio marathon for like 7 hours in the kitchen, and we got over 400 people to listen live, and that was the birth of PPRN.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
yeah. So and then it ended up being me, this guy Danny, and this girl Bree, and we did it for almost a year or two. We went to New York. We did a bunch of things, and then that was a Tuesday or a Sunday night, and then I was doing so well with the Sunday night. I said, I'm going to go do a Tuesday, but Bree and Danny didn't want to do Tuesday. So I ended up doing a show in Bristol, Connecticut at a bar. And this guy, Danny, came with me. He stayed with me, but other people started joining, and that's how PPRN started getting other people to join in because every week we liked somebody, and we're like, hey, can you stay for good? And then that's how I met Phil, and that's how I met Dave, and that's how I met everybody. But that's how PPRN started. It was a dream and a habit at the same time.
Nice. So you made your dream come true. That's kind of cool.
And then 15 years ago that started, but then I didn't think anything was going to come about it. And then I got a show at UConn. And then after UConn, I got a show at PLR for a little bit for like 2 years. Not a show, but I was on Chaz and AJ.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got fired from them, and I went to iHeart for 2 years.
Why'd they fire you?
Well, I asked for money, and they said no, so I told them to go fuck themselves, so they fired me.
Yep. Well, I wouldn't consider that firing then, but
And then I went to iHeart, and I started producing, and then I moved to Florida. So and then
I
I
didn't know
came
you were
back.
at iHeart. Wow.
Yeah, I was with Casey 101. I was with Kiss 95.7, WLI, the Country 92.5, and the River 105.9. And ESPN 2 was there too. So
Pretty cool.
that was cool. That job was cool because it taught me a lot of the board and stuff, which I already knew, but it taught me more. Towards the end, my boss was like, wow, I really like your voice. I'm like, you do? She's like, yeah, I'm going to start using you for voiceovers. I think they still use a couple of them, but it was more on the ELI part of it. I did high school football voiceovers and stuff like that. So
Nice.
I had a pretty decent career out of it. So
You go, Pete. Give
yeah,
me
yeah.
your flowers.
Now I'm
And your
here with you guys every week, so that's even better. So.
lucky us. That's kind of cool. That's
And we're in video now, so see how it branches out. I want to say PPRN didn't invent podcasts, but we were there before
At
it
the
even
beginning.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah, like before it even became. I don't even know how Phil and I met, but that was like the weirdest.
Well,
thing.
I answered an ad you had on Craigslist.
That's right. That's right. I was looking for people to host with me, and I was also looking for salespeople, and Phil ended up being.
Oh, I thought the ad said something else. That's why I was laughing.
It did. He's just being good.
It said more than that.
I know.
And I met Dave, the same way. We've all become really good friends. So
That's very cool.
PPRN has a lot more stories. I wish you knew from the beginning to the end. It never really took off and made money, but it was never boring, and it was never. I mean, when we did radio, Lisa, we did radio when Phil and I first started, we did radio for 5 hours, no commercials.
Yeah.
No scripts either. Like when people are like, you can't do radio. But fuck, I can't. I'll tell you right now. I don't know anybody out there that can do 5 hours without stopping. I'm telling you right. I'm not saying that to be,
No, I get it.
Man, but what did we have? Like 5-minute breaks, Phil? Not even. It was just like ridiculously already.
No, we did, every hour we had about, I think, a 5 or 10 minute break, because we would all, when I was in Southbury, we all went upstairs to the bathroom, except you went outside to smoke, and you hid in the parking lot. Yeah.
We'd all go outside, smoke, and then come back. But that was 5 hours. I want to say we had maybe three, possibly 4 breaks, but not many.
It was every hour. It was every hour we used to have a break.
Yeah, and it was like 2 songs.
Yeah, about 7, and we would go to either 11. I think one night we went to 12. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do a long, long time. So
and this is when we had metal bands as the guests. So we had all these large guys with tattoos coming in, and you would play their music, and so it was a lot.
Matter of fact, I got this tattoo
on the air. Yes,
on the air.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah. It was the worst fucking worst feeling. It hurt so bad.
Yeah, I could never do a tattoo. Kudos to
those. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it was actually one of the more interesting radio shows, because I mean, if we were doing this on YouTube and you were getting a tattoo, it'd be interesting to see. But this was on radio, so there was no camera, so all the listeners heard was.
And that could be many sounds.
Yeah, it could have been a dildo, or it could have been a tattoo.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we've interviewed some pretty big names too, like Jamie Kennedy remembers us. He's still on my friends list, and
That's pretty cool.
That guy Brock, he was on it. We had Joey Fatone. He kind of hung up on us, and
we called back.
We had Bob Backlund to come on, but Bob Backlund is a wrestler. I don't know if you remember him, Lisa.
No.
He got offended by a girl that was on our show.
Really?
So,
you have a landline?
Huh?
Do you have a landline?
No, that's my cell phone. Who has a landline anymore?
Well, that's what it sounded. It sounded like am I the only crazy one? It sounded like the old school ringtone, like a regular telephone.
Oh, it is. It is. I don't know why I'm getting phone calls at 9 o'clock at night, but it's ridiculous. But
I call them the same way as you, Pete.
Yeah. Next week, Juneteenth, we're gonna have Jonathan 6A and Mike Hatfield on along with Phil. Don't forget to check Phil WAPJ, the Nutmeg Chatter, on Sundays. It's a podcast. If you're not in Torrington, what time is it on Sundays?
It's on in Connecticut. It's on 3 p.m. On WAPJ. But you could also, for everyone who's not in Torrington, which is most everybody, go over to nutmegchatter.com, and the shows go on to the website around 3:30. So it's probably a better way to hear it that way.
Cool.
And Dave, how do we find out where you are?
The website is davesheehancomedy.com. Try to keep my performance dates on there, and I try to share on social media as well about like posters and flyers for upcoming shows, so people like Pete can see them all at the same time and mix up all the details and not know where I'm going, which half the time I don't know where I'm going, so don't worry if that happens.
Well, that's why we have you on once a month, so you can tell us.
Yes.
Sweet.
I got seawater in my ear or something. Good Lord. This Florida is fucking. Yeah,
it's a heck of a bidet.
It is.
It's bidet water in your ear.
Every time I go in the Gulf, I get water in my ear for a month.
Yeah.
Lisa, where can we see you?
Where am I going to be next? I have some gigs in New York on Long Island in the Hamptons, so you can, I don't know, Facebook me or I have to say I'm very bad at promoting, but I will get better at that. But yeah,
Do you bring your boyfriend to these shows?
So my boyfriend is actually the the keyboard player in the band. He's the one who actually got me back in singing. That's a whole nother show.
You gotta
But
have him on. If he's a
yeah,
musician, you gotta have him
plays
on.
trumpet. He's played with Billy Joel, and he's amazing.
Is he a good
Yes.
guy though?
He is a good guy. He is a good guy. I'll keep him
Hey,
around
Melvin.
till tomorrow.
He what?
I said I'll keep him around till tomorrow.
Give a shout out to Melvin that just turned in. Melvin owns Next Level Entertainment down here in Florida.
Hey, Melvin.
Florida, believe it or not, is on hiatus now because it's our season. It's basically winter. Your winter, our summer, or our summer, your whatever you want to call it.
I'm confused. Say it one more time.
Well, nobody gets married in Florida. Nobody gets married in Florida from
Oh, gotcha.
now
like
until October because it's disgustingly hot.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's going to Boston tomorrow. So if anybody has any, he's going to Boston. So nobody on the show has got
No gigs
anything
in
going on in Boston. So
Nope.
and Bob says safe travels, Melvin. Wasn't that nice? Look at that, Bob being nice. And don't forget to check out Bob Clark's show, The Slide, the sports show, and that's on the Podbean Sportscast. And don't forget, if you are in the Litchfield area, Thomaston area, go check out my boy Red's restaurant in Thomaston, the Black Rock Tavern. If you're in Litchfield, go check out At the Corner. That's what it's called. That little symbol at, and then the corner.
Cool, cool.
And that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Here, it is Juneteenth, so
I'll be the only black chick on.
what do we wear for something like that?
Blackface. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, do we have to wear like the?
You don't have to wear anything.
What are those?
I mean,
things
you have to
called?
wear something, but you don't have to wear anything special. I mean,
What are those things? Those African clothes they wear? Because I always want to say the
He's-
Tuskegee, but that's kind of fucked up.
Dashiki,
don't do
big
that.
cloth. Yeah.
yeah,
What is
Please
it?
Dashiki. Or you can wear the-
Tuskegee. That's what it is.
yeah. Don't wear
That's
that.
why I don't like saying it because I say it fucked up, and then I know the word I say is not right. So Tuskegee.
No, not Tuskegee.
No.
Tashiki.
Da.
Dashiki. Yes.
Oh, like De La Soul. Dashiki. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Melvin says Kangos. Okay. Yeah, we'll go back to the 80s.
Oh my God.
All right. So, in honor of Juneteenth next week, we're going to say is at the end of every show, everybody stay black, y'all.
Peace, love, and soul.
And we'll see you
Yeah,
guys
everyone.
next Wednesday here at PPRMradio.net.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Hanging out with you
Good night,
guys.
all.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.